All right, so hopefully you've got your picture boxes being dynamically created and they're spawning in at an interval of 1 second, or maybe you've changed it, whatever it may be. So the second big new thing we need to talk about is obviously I want to click on these picture boxes. If I click on them right now, nothing's happening. So we learned how to create picture boxes dynamically, but now I need to attach click events to them because these picture boxes don't exist on my form. So I can't just add the event like I added a click event to this start button simply just by clicking it. So I need to add click events to those picture boxes that don't even exist yet. So that's what we're going to do right now. Now, on the topic of the click event for this button, I think you would agree with me that this is in fact a click event. And I'm going to just copy this. I'm going to copy that. And maybe I'll go down here where I have some more space. I'm going to paste it. Now, obviously I have two events with the same name. That's no good. So I am free to change this to whatever name I want. Doesn't matter. This event is for clicking the picture boxes. So maybe I'll call this target click. And I'm going to get rid of this code inside of it because it's no longer for the start button. It's a new event. And the reason I copied it and pasted it was because it had all this stuff and I was kind of just too lazy to type it myself. Although you could very well just type it yourself and be on your way. So you'll see right here this 0 references. That's because this click event isn't attached to anything, right? This button, this click event was attached to the button, so it's got 1 reference. This is just kind of like a function that's not being called by anything. So I need to attach this event to the target picture boxes. And how could I go about doing that? Well, remember when we made the picture box in this spawn target function? We made the picture box, we set all these properties, and then we added it to our form. Before I add it to the form, I would like to attach a click event because I need to be able to click these picture boxes. So this target, and what type of event am I trying to add? I'm trying to add a click event. And it's this weird notation. It's actually a plus equals the name of the event you're trying to attach. Okay? So this is referring to the picture box we created. I want to attach a click event to it. And which function am I attaching? Well, I'm attaching this one that we just made down here. Now you can see it has a reference. Now you can see that it's hooked up to something. So this is a pretty easy line of code to understand, I think. However, when we start to code this, we start to code the actual event itself, it's a little bit weird. All right. So for simplicity's sake, let's say the only thing I want to happen right now is if I click on one of these picture boxes, I just want it to go away. I just want it to disappear. I want to basically delete it. So what we have to do, and this next 30 seconds is a bit confusing, and you don't really, this is the one line of code you don't really need to understand, but I'm going to try my best to explain it. Because this click event is being attached to every picture box, we may have 50 picture boxes on the screen and they all have the same click event. When I write code for this click event, I need to know which picture box was clicked. And that's what this piece of code does. When this function is clicked, when this click event happens, I get sent something. I get sent some information. And the information I'm being sent is the picture box that was clicked. Now it's not always a picture box, so that's why you see the word object, but in this case we're just clicking picture boxes. So it's sending me a picture box. So that's not too bad to understand. But kind of what is hard to understand is I'm going to create a new picture box and I'm going to call it target. And this picture box is going to be a reference to the picture box that's being sent to me. And this is some higher level programming. A reference means that you have multiple points of entry to modify some information about a particular object. So I'm being sent a picture box, and I'm making a copy of the picture box. However, both of these picture boxes still affect the same picture box. It's like a house, but I have two doors to get inside of it. So here was one door to get inside of it, and here's a second door to get inside it. I'm still modifying the same house. I'm still renovating the same kitchen in the same house. I just have two ways of getting there. This is a line of code you do not need to understand at all, but hopefully my subpar explanation maybe makes it a little bit makes sense. Now that I have the picture box that's been clicked, the rest of the code is quite easy to understand. The first thing I want to do is, just like we added the picture box to my form, I want to remove the picture box from my form. So I bet you could figure out this line of code without me typing it. I'm referring to the controls that are on my form. I don't want to add a control. I actually want to remove. And which one do I want to remove? Well, I want to remove the one that's been clicked. Now you may think this is good enough. However, that picture box will still exist inside your computer. Your computer will still keep track of that picture box. This is no good because my computer is wasting resources keeping track of a picture box that we no longer need. So I really want to dispose of this. I want to delete this completely. So what I can do is I can go target dot dispose. And this basically deletes it completely. It deletes it. There's no memory of it. And my computer is freed up to take care of other things. So these 3 lines of code will allow us to now click a picture box and dispose, completely delete it, remove it from our form. Just like that. So you can see they're going away now. So what we have just done in this video is we have taken dynamically adding a picture box, and we have learned how to dynamically add an event. In this case, a click event. So every picture box that's being created has this event attached to it. And I don't even know if I really want to write comments up here because it's kind of confusing code. But these 2 lines of code are fine. Removes PCB from the form. But it's not good enough to just remove it. We want to actually delete the PCB from memory. We don't want to keep track of it anymore. Now with that being said, why don't you get a score system going so that each time you click a target, some score goes up. Why don't you get that going? And then actually while I still have, no. Keep it simple. I'll see you in the next video.